One time for the uptown lady. One time, top, 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 top. One time, top, 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 top. One time for the uptown lady. One time for the blue-eyed baby. One top, 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 top. One time for the uptown lady. One time for the blue-eyed baby. One time for the uptown lady. One time for the blue-eyed baby. One time for the uptown lady. One time for the blue-eyed baby. One time for the uptown lady. One time for the blue-eyed baby. One time for the uptown lady. One time for the blue-eyed baby. One time for the uptown lady. One time for the blue-eyed baby. One time for the uptown lady. One time for the blue-eyed baby. One time for the uptown lady. One time for the blue-eyed baby. One time. One time. One time. One time. One time.
Yo, yo,
One time.
how are we doing? It is Wednesday, 4/19, so that would be what, April 19th? Jeez. Tomorrow is a unofficial holiday that some people may celebrate, known as 420. But today we're just going to be looking at some charts, not celebrating 420, unfortunately. I do know some of the homies are celebrating those, so hope they are enjoying it. Gonna get started with some vibes, just like some deep house tonight. Want to kind of take a break from some dub techno. Yo, Nora, what's good? We got some interesting charts to look at. So yeah, let's dive on into it. All right. So right off the bat, we're starting off a little bit different. Normally start with Bitcoin. I wanted to look at the S&P first, or ES, E-mini futures contract asset. Man, I picked a bad song to start on. Hold on. There we go. That's more for the vibe that I'm looking for. But yeah, ES basically was in a long this morning where I was playing this as like basically a order block. Yo, follows, what's good? And was playing this kind of as a 3 Rising Valley setup. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get the follow through that I was looking for. And I was on Twitter, like having my lunch break, and I saw that wrecked on his FX Twitter. He had posted a short setup, basically this setup, except he had stop above here, and I think his entry was a bit higher. He got in on the wick up. So he had about like a 4-hour trade. He posted that, and I was like, we're not really pushing up here. We're kind of stalling out. Like if you look on the M1, I think it was right around like here-ish. I cut it because we got this impulse, and then we started chopping. And I was like, I don't like this. I'd rather just cut it. I'm not gonna try to fade one of like a really good CT trader. So I cut it, reassessed. I did like the setup, so I ended up taking a short. Chroma homies got it as well, but it's not my setup. You can go on RecProof's Twitter. I gave him credit in the post as well on Chroma, but it's a clean setup. So we took it for the long for about 2.25R, flipped short now. So hopefully this ends up playing out. I could totally see it working because we've taken all kind of like the lower liquidity below already. So it's really not much to do besides take the sell side liquidity. We'll dive into Dixie in a little bit, but I think this is a really nice setup. I think tomorrow potentially, or maybe even later today, you could get a push back up maybe into this little volume imbalance. So that would kind of be, and there's a smaller one up here too, but I think this would be like the short-term pivot point for maybe like if we're gonna go out, actually retest range highs. I do think there is, let me double check this really quick. Tomorrow, yeah, there's unemployment claims at 8:30. Shouldn't be like a huge deal, but that is probably gonna impact it a little. And then Friday's smooth sailing, just a lot of there's a PMI for flash manufacturing and services at 9:45, and there's a ton of news for pound and euro if you're a forex trader. But the rest of the day tomorrow, besides the 8:30 unemployment gains, looks pretty good. It's been a clean week. Not a lot of news drivers, so no real like crazy expansion, but some good ranges. So also just to double check, yo Anthony, what's up? Yeah, this is Monday low. The basically, I don't know if it's gonna show. Yeah, there we go. This low here, which we already took Monday high, so this is really clean setup. Like the more confluence like it has, the better. I don't know if ES was maybe the best short for it. I think I don't trade it, but I believe the Dow was actually actually no, the Dow gave SMT then with ES, so ES actually would have been no, because they both broke it. Never mind. I guess they're all the same relatively, but Dow is pretty weak right now. So yeah, this is ultimately what I'm looking for, sell side liquidity. I wanted to share it first just because it is a current setup that I'm in. So we'll see what happens. Let's go on over to BTC, everybody's favorite friend. Bakair, good morning. 2 a.m. God bless you for coming, bro. Appreciate you joining the stream. For me, it's like, hold on, let me quick fix this also, by the way. There we go. The bar over here was a little bit over. For me, it's 6:51 p.m., so I appreciate you staying up to enjoy the stream. But this brings on a interesting point here for BTC. We have a lot of areas. I'm gonna look at the week. Daily is too much data. I don't need that much. I think 3 days is good for right now. So we were talking about this last week where we were like, okay, we have the PCZ here. We are up here still, or what was it? Last Wednesday was, yeah, somewhere, one of these two candles. And I was like, okay, is this the actual confirmation high? Because this one wasn't like this little wick up, and we're still below X, so it's still valid. So at this point, like obviously we're breaking down today, had quite a bit of a good sell-off. You have 2 days left in this candle. This fair value gap here does not seem to be looking like it wants to hold. So I'm kind of getting the feeling that, hey, this is going to be a deeper pullback. I think ultimately like the first step would be to fall back into the range, or if we even pull this here to here, yeah. So if you get like a 4-hour close below like 28,800, or 28,800. That's where I would be looking for moves down further to like 28K, where the POC is. You could look for value very low, which is about 27,000. But ultimately, I do think you're going to get this first TP, which is 25K. There's a lot of imbalance or liquidity here. If we're looking from a like perspective of like extensions, you have the 618 is right there, so you have like your OTE. So this is a beautiful area to be looking for longs, in my opinion, to swing up towards this imbalance. I think ultimately, like, where would you be proven wrong in this scenario or want to change your invalidation? Daily, ultimately, I guess like a close above here. 4 hour though, like it looks pretty gross. Like I don't think on the 4 hour, like maybe come back up here, but ultimately I want to see it break down and fall further down. You do have a lot of sell side liquidity below that needs to be taken. What I could totally see happen actually is kind of like a bleed out tomorrow that goes alongside the ES short, and then we come down. We probably chop range. You hit like the EQ of this wick, so like the 50%, and I'll pull that up in a minute so we can see where that would be. Bounce, shift structure, and then eventually make our way back down, kind of like a big 3 tap almost. Maybe even you get a little expansion back outside and you get the wick high here at around 29K. I don't know, just theory crafting, but I definitely think this big wick here, what is this? Yeah, 4 hour. So this is like a good time frame to look at it on. Oops, wrong tool there. I dragged it in the wrong spot, but I can adjust it really quick. There we go. So yeah, look at that. That was pretty spot on too. Oh wait, no, it wasn't, because I moved this down. Yeah. So go down, probably hit that. I like to use channels as where the EQ would be. It's just quick for me to pull it on the tool, but ultimately that's where 27.5, I guess you could see short term, where I would be looking for short-term longs, maybe back up to higher values before then continuing down. But it's still pretty bullish, I would say, outside of this range. You might get a pushback up, another retest of 30K, and then a dump down again. I'm just looking at this because there used to be a setup I traded that was it was almost like a inverse 3 rising valleys, like a 3 peaks kind of pattern, but it had like market structure breaks between each one. So I'm trying to see, like, I guess you could say like, yeah, I guess in like the grand scheme of things, the area I would not want to see a closure above is like 35. Maybe even like a wicks clean these highs, but I definitely think short term, I am looking for more shorts. This would be a great area to, if you get confirmation, to short down into the range, but we might just end up dropping and not giving that opportunity. So we'll see. I think it'll kind of follow ES, so see how unemployment claims are tomorrow. I don't really think there's a great spot to position either way. I would probably wait till after the news and look for like a reaction, and then wait for it to kind of retrace a little bit and then trade it the direction that it's going to go. But yeah, high time frame still pretty bullish. Again, short term, I do want to see TP1, or not short term, midterm, because this could be a few weeks in the making going into the summer. But daily looks bearish, but there's no real structure shift, I think, until you break 26.4, and even then you could shift and then trend down and then start trending back up again, because I still like the idea of this high time frame 3 rising valleys, where it's like you have these big periods, like what was it, January to March, like 3 months, TP of 25.2, 26.6 to 25 turtle soup of sorts. All right, so you're saying 25.2. All right, so if we go there, then you're saying 26.6 to 25K. Oh, okay, you mean like that, and then kind of reclaim and go back up? Yeah, I could totally see that. However, I wouldn't be surprised though, even to see like a quick wick down into like the low to like mid 23 to 24, just because there's these massive imbalances. That's right around your OTE of the low to high here. But I could definitely see what you're saying. I think ultimately you're gonna have to wait, see what confirmation you get down at those levels. But for the time being, I am bearish. I would argue that this is indeed the confirmation high. And I guess ultimately your swing target would be here if you're playing the harmonic. Yeah, that is BTC. Heading on over to ETH. Oh wait, no, this happened last time. I don't know why the space bars should take me to the next one. ETH has been one that I'm actually super stoked about, because last week we were talking about this one. We were like, oh, is it gonna break B? I think because it was like right around like here. Yeah, this candle. And we finally did. We broke B. Obviously, we're pulling back, as you can tell by the markets. Like, everything's kind of taking a hit. But we are holding nicely. We'll look at ETH BTC, see how that looks in a bit, because it did get quite a bit of a rally over the past week. But ultimately, it's still following trajectory. I wouldn't even be surprised to see it come down, maybe to like 16. I don't know. That's kind of low, though. I mean, there's a lot of sell-side liquidity levels you could see reversal at, but I think 14 to 16 would be like the lowest I would want to see it go. Like, I would not want to see it take this low. That would be very bearish in my opinion. But this thing still looks good for going to this target. So load up your spot bags. See you in a few months. I've just been DCAing all year. I've actually been sharing it with Chroma every week, which has been really interesting to like watch it grow. And I don't have a lot. It's about like 1,850 invested right now, but it's about 2.4K. And literally all I do is buy ETH and BTC once a week. I either put in $50, $100, or $200 per week, depending upon if the prices are higher or lower than the previous week. So like if it's higher, I'll put in less money, and then if it goes lower than the previous week, I'll put in more money, where it caps out at 50 as the least amount I'll put and 200 as the most. So it just ranges between the three. And then ultimately I split it between ETH and BTC, and I just set limit orders on Sunday. And that's that. Yeah, it's been very profitable for me so far this year. I mean, again, like we've been pretty much in uptrend since January, but I think in the long run, over like the next couple months going into like 2024, I think like we will eventually see new highs somewhere in the next like probably 3 to 4 years would be my guess. I don't know. So I'm just gonna DCA and just keep trading other stuff for the time being, because for me it's just not like crypto is just not my steez anymore. But I am going to be off 6 weeks in the summer, so I hopefully will be devoting a lot more time to getting back into the swing of that, doing some more streams with Chroma friends, so maybe some collabs with Fallis again. I know I did that last summer, which was a blast, as well as maybe even doing a challenge. So I tried doing one, what was it, I think earlier this year in the fall, and it just didn't, or not in the fall, I think it was in the beginning of 2023, and it just wasn't really working out. It's tough for me, like with my job and everything, to manage that plus regular trading and everything else. So hopefully over summer, when I have some more free time, I can get into the nitty gritty of that. But yeah, this looks decent here. You have the sell side liquidity below. Don't want to see it drop below 13.7 roughly, or 1,370. ETH to BTC. Okay, so this is finally, it looks like where it stopped following the pattern, though we are coming back down. I do want to drag out this fixed range volume profile to see where we are rejecting from. Yeah, so the POC, it did like kind of run above it a bit. You filled the fair value gap fully, and now we're not nuking, but we're coming back down. You mitigated the daily fair value gap here. So now it's ultimately, I think, just going to Baba, Neo. Oh, those are, I recognize Neo. Neo's a stock, correct? And Baba, I'm assuming, is Alibaba. If you want me to look at stocks, I'd be more than happy to. I rarely get stock requests. We'll even actually look at Tesla too. We'll check that out after ETH to BTC, and then we'll run through some alts. But yeah, for sure. So yeah, ETH to BTC. Ultimately, again, I still think it has to go down to this. Not has to, but for me, there's like too much confluence with the harmonic and everything not to see all this like liquidity build up and then explode. So You got time. You got time. This could be sometime in May or June, but I think come probably like whenever we get to this 786 retrace, so about 56824 satoshis, or that's where I would be looking to start focusing more on ETH for longs than BTC. Alrighty, let's take a look at those requests because it's been a while. I've definitely looked at Neo. Oh my god, this is when I first started trading. This is a trip down memory lane. Hold on. I need to fix these up. I need to make, I don't know what this thing is. I guess these were supposed to be like my TP levels way back when. Oh, there's a harmonic. Oh my god, more. Oh, these were TP levels. Well, clearly Moon Boy here, because we never even came close to those. Oh, know what it is? I think I had specific levels for different harmonics. I used to have a black background, so that's probably why whatever this is not showing. I think it's white. Yeah, this was like a shark. A botched shark, but a shark did kind of play out, but... yeah, let's look at Neo. Do you have a specific time frame you were curious about, or because I can give you a general rundown, but man, oh, enjoy this trip. My man, you just like opened Pandora's box tonight. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. We have what I would say is a beautiful, you could argue maybe a Gartley, but like Gartley would have gotten the reaction at the 786. Yeah, look at that, 886, almost spot on. The only thing is, it's not in the best spot. So you do have your low, you do have a confirmation low. Oh my god, I might even like take this myself. Like, I might pick up a spot bag of, or some spot of Neo. Or, I mean, there's no derivatives, but might buy some of this, actually. This looks really nice. So yeah, this would be like your harmonic. The only thing is here. Let's go back on the daily, too. How's the daily structure? Where's the 200 EMA? Alright, so... The thing is, this is such a massive harmonic. This could take like a couple years to really get going again, but honestly, you're not in a bad spot. I think what I would probably want to see, though... So you have this volume imbalance, right? We're rejecting from it. Get back above that, and then you have like an easy... like low, not low risk, or relatively low risk, like, because you can size it up once it like flips this again, and ultimately that should be right around when the 200 EMA gets there. So I'm actually gonna set alerts for this, because I'll come back to this if we ever do flip that or get to those levels. And then like targets, I mean, if we're being like realistic, I mean, this could certainly go up and to higher prices, because like realistically, like harmonics targets should be up here, but this is like, what is it? What fields is it in again? IT auto stocks. Is that correct? Is a design and manufacture of electronic vehicles. Okay, so like, I mean, I could see the reasoning for it, but I guess ultimately, like, short term, maybe if you get above it, like you play it a little bit tighter or something, but ultimately I'd be probably looking for a retest of the weekly 200 EMA as my target, because you'll probably get that if you can get above the daily and hold above this volume imbalance. So like the criteria in short that I'd be looking for longing this is a reclaim of this volume imbalance. And I would like to see it above the daily, or at least like getting close to, and then I would target the weekly. So that's how I would play that. But this looks nice. This is a good request. I'm actually gonna make really quick a new list for stocks on my trading view and just throw this in there so I can kind of keep tabs on some things. So good looks. What was the other one? Baba.
Let the groove take control.
Alright, so Baba's just below the 200 EMA, which isn't too bad. Oh my gosh. The yellow trading view lines, oh man. Alright. Yeah, I think these are just like ice lines that I had marked from ages ago. And some of them aren't even that accurate. Should really be like probably there and whatever. Something like that. Yeah. But we are well below that. Let's look at some other... Where are we? We're somewhere in this range. Historically, where did we open Alibaba? $99.70. Or well, yeah, or that we traded that high on the first day. Yeah. And there's a lot of history with this asset, but let me quick skip through this mix. I'm not really. There we go. It's a little bit better. So yeah, where are we now? Look at this. Oh my god. All right, you see this? This is why I don't joke about these ice lines, dude. Right here, this low from August 25th, 2015. So 8 years ago. And look at that pinpoint. Well, you didn't quite tap it, but like, come on, bro. Like that's so mint. I'm sure the retail pattern traders would be like, oh, inverse head and shoulders. Could be. However, I'm more interested in harmonics, especially on stocks like harmonics and stocks, because like a lot of them have been around for so long, like they're just very clean. So yeah, this would be a Gartley because you have a slightly deeper retrace, a little more than the 618. Can you increase the video quality? Or the video quality, it's on 720. I will try to update for future streams to 1080. I just, like, when I set it up initially, I've only done 720 because I was worried about buffer speed. It is a little bit hard to see this. I can do it in a dark color if it makes it better. Yeah. Hopefully that helped. But yeah, this would be a Gartley. We would look for a reaction at the 786, which would be about 71.49. You have a lot of volume imbalances here. So I could definitely see this coming down, kind of cleaning it up, and then bouncing. This is where, like, in my opinion, if you're, and I'll add this one to my watch list too, because it actually looks pretty good in the future. Is John C gonna become a stock trader? Who knows? Stay tuned on this episode. Yeah, because all these highs are here, like where I would probably target if like Alibaba can like save itself in this economy, is probably this massive weekly imbalance. I'm sure it did get tapped into the monthly. So I guess like, I mean, like you could look at these ice lines as targets, but I think just the buy side liquidity of the harmonic would be a good place. So it's like about 3.3R. And like easy invalidation would be below $58. You bust below 58, it's dead. So another good request. But yeah, midterm, I'm definitely bearish on this. Cool. Let's quick look at our S coins, run through those. Head over to do some Forex stuff. So Algo, I actually had a request from a Chroma member about this one today. They were just wanted some insight into it, and ultimately it's kind of looks like now we're going to be going for the equal lows here. So what I would then be looking for is probably like a breakdown. You could, it's tricky because honestly this is like such a key low. that I really wouldn't feel comfortable longing underneath it unless you're really taking like a spot swing position or something like this. Because you probably don't want to see this low get taken either. Yeah, like I would definitely want confirmation. Probably wait for it to pop back up here, because then you have like a better invalidation. But if you're looking for more just like set it and forget it type stuff, this is probably be how I position, because I believe this low rated this one here, so this would be like a good order block to use. And then ultimately you would be looking up to these equal highs here. This is like the obvious draw on liquidity. It's inside the ice lines, which for me are like kind of historical support resistance areas. So that's what I would be using to define what exactly is kind of like a range in a sense. So yeah, algo looks like it's going to take this and then probably set up for potential long in the coming weeks. APT finally broke the trend line, could not get a closure above the ice line here, but this closure back from January. We are coming back down, trending towards, in my opinion, just sell side liquidity. Still kind of just like ping pong between these levels, so we'll see which breaks. I'm just going a little quick just for time, because I do have a lot of stuff to get through, because we went a little bit off filter, which is fine. This would be a better example of that kind of like bearish like 3 drives. So I really want to see these lows get taken, and like once you're under $10, dude, I'm buying like a ton of Adam's spot and just forgetting about it for a while. It could be a bad idea, it might be a good idea, we'll see. But yeah, the drawdown I have on it's like 35% before I cut it, and like the upside is like 7-fold, so it's just a no-brainer in my opinion. Not saying it has to happen, but like again, we've seen history, it often repeats itself. Doesn't have to rhyme, but we do have 2 different harmonics than our cipher from 2021. So yeah, Adam looks a little bearish. I mean, most crypto does. A lot of this is down like 4, 5, 8%. Going to BNB. Let's take a look. BNB. Oh, interesting here. We have now a 3 drives. You did retest the old ice line at 350. Rejected. Could not get a closure above it. You are back inside the range here, which we've deviated both sides now. So like I wouldn't really be worried about this, but like POC is at 307. Everything's bearish right now, so like ultimately I think if you get a retest of 330 to 334, that's a great short area you could look for, and then figure out how you want to use your stop. But I definitely think it kind of looks like BTC almost a little bit with like the wicks down, so definitely this should be like kind of a good target in my opinion for sell side liquidity. Doge is going to be interesting because I've seen some people mention this, and I totally could see it happening, like with an Elon tweet tomorrow for 420, just for jokes. So be cautious. I am waiting for much lower to get involved. We could, if we pop up and you get above C, this kind of invalidates my whole idea, so I'll have to rethink this thesis. But for the time being, it's still valid. I just would have to extend a bit further to 7.2, yeah. Cool. Let me quick change song. Yeah, this mix is like hit or miss. There we go. Little like jazz vibe. I'm with it though. We looked at ETH, LDO. It's just like, this is almost like up there for me with like Link. Like I hate looking at these two. Oh, Link! Finally doing something. Nice. But we're really still just in the middle of the range. We haven't really gone anywhere with it. So what would be nice to see ultimately though is you do have these relatively, you have like trips of relatively equal highs. Not perfect, but I think that's ultimately where it could be going in time, given that it's range bound. So going from the bottom to the top. So that's where I'd be looking for that. INJ. I was talking about this with False and some of the guys in Chroma the other day. It looked great until it didn't, because we've now pretty much almost got to a 3618 retrace or expansion, which is not like that's up there. Like you like a 1618's a lot. Like 2618, you're going wild. 3618, you're in this moon. I've very rarely seen a 4236, but yeah, this is now coming back down to the 2618 area, where it will likely bounce a little bit, come back up here. To me, though, this looks like market maker sell model, where you have like original consolidation, accumulation, smart money reversal, distribution. I would want to see another distribution phase, probably come back down, break that low, come up for your silver bullet, and then nuke further. Or maybe even, hold up. No. I'm gonna change my stance on this a little bit. Thing is, like, it's fractal, because you could like say like this is your original consolidation, so it's like there's like smaller ones almost inside of it. But I guess like if you're looking more in like the short to midterm, you want to see this hold here. You don't really want to see it break this low just yet, and then I'd be looking for a higher up here. Mana, oh man, oof, not too hot. So I was looking at this as a potential Gartley, and it's still valid like that. Sorry, I love like crispy house beats like that. Money. But yeah, we also have this major imbalance. You still haven't hit the EQ of it, so a bit to go. But yeah, dropping down, probably eventually get there. I don't know how long it'll take. It could be something like that. Still valid. So lower prices probably in store for most assets, or most crypto assets. Still waiting on this Matic setup, which again could take a while, and it would still be fine because you would have to really break above A to invalidate it. But yeah, the 886 retrace right around here. I forget what was here. It might be like a smaller imbalance or something. But yeah, lower prices, near, same story. We're now back below like the EQ of that from last week. Not really doing too much. Sol never actually took this. This was a trade just on stream for fun, but still technically, I guess, valid. But I don't know. We might come down, take this, and then eventually go up for the highs. So high time frame though, it's looks decent. Like this would be one of the few alts I would actually look to long. So keep it in the back of your mind. Going over to Dixie. Now, again, another idea from RecProof, absolute legend. He posted on his FX Twitter about this potential kind of like range where we would be looking for a deviation down to then reclaim and then push up towards this monthly fair value gap. Or, well, we'll push up to range highs. I think it would be towards the monthly fair value gap to complete this tap into that, and then come back down to complete the market maker sell model. I don't want to spend too much time on this, so feel free to peep last week's video. But ultimately, you have the FEG EQ on the monthly and the full fill below as potential areas of bouncing. So I'd be monitoring that for Dixie. If we do push up, though, again, that's kind of midterm bearish sentiment, which is kind of aligning with what I was saying on BTC kind of needing to cool off before really getting another major leg up. Looking at some Forex. starting with USD, US dollar to the Japanese yen. Talked about this in Chroma on, what was it, Monday? So we were like here. I was like, I'm looking for this buy side liquidity here, as well as this daily fair value gap, which today the liquidity objective was satisfied. So not sure if anybody in Chroma caught it. I don't think so, but I unfortunately I was waiting for pad on my funded account so I could just more analyze the past 2 days. So the ES long I took today was actually my first trade of the week. So nice to start off with a dub, but we have relatively equal highs here. Could kind of almost see this coming up. I would treat this probably like a market maker buy model, original consolidation, distribution, smart money, or distribution, smart money reversal, accumulation, reaccumulation, or maybe this would be like all the accumulation. This is like reaccumulation. So if I can see what I was mentioning in the group is we can get a flip here and then that turns into like an inverse SVG, that's where I would want to be long up to this high. So something you can keep an eye on, especially if Dixie starts to really lift off, it'll be an easy trade. So just keep your eye on it if you're a Forex trader. And then obviously for the inverse, we still have this monthly FEG, which I think eventually will get taken, but we do have a lot of sell side liquidity below. However, yeah, I'm just like looking at this for a sec. I haven't looked at EU in a day or two. I've been mostly focused on a US dollar to the Japanese yen because I think it's actually pretty interesting. And it's nice being able to see the SMT with Dixie easily. But yeah, we took the major buy side liquidity, so I definitely think some bearishness is in store. You do have the only real like liquidity objective I see is all the way down here, which is not something I'm crazy about, but I mean, I guess I could see it getting there in time. So yeah. Pound, again, if we look to euro to pound, I think pound's going to be much stronger. This is, again, just, it really hasn't broken through here. I think once it does, it'll be a pretty quick, swift move. And then down towards here for complete the harmonic, which is the same Gartley we've looked at before. It's that 618 retrace down to B, and then a 786 with anywhere between 382 to 886 for this, and this is not as important, but I believe it's 1.272 to 1618 is valid for this harmonic, but I might be a little off. But yeah, so with that in mind, like I still would like to see pound to the US dollar like make its way back up. The only thing is though, you're now like closing back inside the range. You're not really, you're rejecting off the highs, so like it could just eventually come back down to the EQ. Let's pull up that fixed range volume profile. Yeah, so if you get closer back below 21.23, I think you're going back to the EQ, and then eventually the lows, depending if the POC shifts afterwards. But yeah, you have two upside objectives: the buy side liquidity, monthly imbalance. But ultimately, I am getting a bearish sentiment on anything against the US dollar, so that's why I was saying like long this. And then again, like I'm short this thing's looking okay, nothing crazy, but slow and steady. So that is what I would be looking for on ES. We went through Forex, we went through crypto, we went through some stonks. Happy to take any requests from people in chat. Otherwise, I will be cutting it here because I do have some work to do. So for people that don't know, I'm a teacher and my students are taking their state exams today, so I proctored for 4 hours, which means I basically stood there and watched them take a test for 4 hours, and I had to turn to my phone and my laptop because we can't have any technology in the room, so no one can accuse us of cheating, and it's very intense. So I just want to make sure I'm getting ample amount of rest. But again, if people have requests, I'm more than happy to take them before we wrap things up here. All right. If not, I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you missed parts of it or wanted to kind of rewind, you can feel free to go through and check out the stuff we went over. As always, yo, Stefan, good morning. Well, good night, because I'm going to be signing off in a minute. But as always, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. And if you're looking for a place for trading education and community, feel free to join Chroma. I will shill that link. Give me one sec. You can find us over at chromatrading.net. You can see our Twitter. If you want to see some of the stuff we're about, we share stuff pretty regularly on there. But yeah, thank you again for coming to the stream, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.